Yes, Big Baby JTV. Like, comment, sub. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. You know exactly what to do. But let's get into it, man. Top Boy Season 2. Or what I call it, Season 3 in it. Or 4 in it. Man, I rock with this UK slang, man. It sounds it's literally Jamaican / Toronto slang with British. You know what I mean? And you really look at the influence of Jamaica on, British culture. Very, very interesting. And it's also interesting that a lot of the cast is Jamaican, or at least half Jamaican. Pretty cool. But anyways, let's talk about it. How would I rank this season and this show? Let me tell you something. Top Boy, especially this season 2, right? Or 4 according to the chronological order, is what Power used to be. Y'all remember when we started watching Power, right? With Ghost, Tommy, Tasha, all them people, Kane, right? Especially the first 2 seasons, even the first 3 actually. That's how Top Boy is. Top Boy is fire. This season is fire. Okay? Now, is the character development good in this season? Not that much. No. Character development was absolutely amazing in season 1 of Top Boy because we really got to see the layers of Deshane. We really got to see the layers of Sully, and we got especially Sully, and we saw the layers of Jamie, right? It was only until the last 2 episodes that we really saw these characters deal with a lot of struggle, a lot of hurt, a lot of deep-ish beyond the street elements. So this is how I'm gonna do this. This is also a spoiler review, so I'm telling y'all right now, go watch this show before I start talking, because from now on I'm gonna start saying spoilers. I'm giving y'all 3 seconds. All right, pause the video, go watch the show. You've been warned. You got 3 seconds. Go ahead. Okay, we're back, and I'm gonna analyze this show by going character to character. I'm gonna give my final review, my final take of the show at the end. Okay, let's start it off. Let's start with the Kingpin, man. Let's start with literally the top boy, the guy who the show's named after, Deshane, right? So Deshane, he went through kind of a lot of swings this season. First and foremost, he's not broke no more. He's literally the top boy, the drug kingpin leader. He is literally Ghost from Power. He's running the streets, right? Now, what I didn't like is that they didn't use his character much. He was more so going along with the flow until the very end, right? Especially with the storylines of his mother dying and him deciding to stop the redevelopment deal. Deshane was more taking a back seat in this series. Sorry, I got a cold, but he took a back seat in this season, right? Or series, as the British would say. And I think that was kind of good. And I'll tell you why it was good. Because they decided the secondary characters, right? Supporting characters, we're going to follow them most of the time, right? As opposed to the last season. The last season, they focused a lot on Sully, especially how Sully lost his best friend, one of his best friends, Jason, right? So in my mind, I think this was a strategic reason. They wanted Deshane to be more background, more low key, even though he does take up most of the scenes, but he's not actively leading the plot in any specific direction. What do I mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean by that. I think this season focused a lot on Jamie and Jackie. Okay, now let's get into them. First off, Jamie, right? Of course, at the very end, he got killed. If you didn't know, he got killed by Sully. But it focused on Jamie not only coming out of jail, but handling not being the top boy, not being the leader, right? Being almost the right-hand man of Deshane, right? Or at least the second or third in command, right? Going to Spain, dealing with the other dealers, right? Dealing with Juan, dealing with Antonio, right? Still dealing with Lizzie's scummy ass. She's scum. Let's start off with that. She's scum, okay? And she's not good. I don't care what nobody says. You know what I mean? She's lame, okay? Looks good, lame bitch, right? They focused a lot on Jamie's, relationship with his brothers. especially around the end when Steph started dealing guns and was kind of visibly going away from Jamie, right? They deal also with Aaron trying to focus in school and not be around the street nonsense, right? So I think that was a strategic thing by the writers. They wanted to say, hey, we're going to focus mostly on Jamie, Jack, and a bit of Sully. They said, hey, we're not going to focus on Deshane that much. Now look, do I believe that them killing off Jamie was bad? In a sense, yes, but it kind of made sense. Why was that? Because Jamie was making side deals with Juan and was trying to build his own empire up again. He was trying to be top boy again, right? And it really showed at the end where he had to kill kids. It showed that Jamie had reached a level where he was willing to go against not only his best friend, his soldier, so he was willing to go against Deshane and Sully, right? And talking about Sully, you realize in this season that Sully is not only a savage, but he's sweet. He's sweet in a certain way. He has soft spots for certain people, right? More specifically, his family, right? And even more specifically, Deshane, right? Because a lot of the BS that happens in Sully's life is essentially linked to people he loves. Let me repeat. A lot of things that happen to Sully are linked to people that he loves, right? When he goes in these moments of going savage and getting in issues, this comes up with Pebbles, my bad, his niece Pebbles, right? That he gets back in the drug game because of Pebbles, right? He tries to run away from it, but because people know that's his soft spot, they use him and manipulate him, right? And that's why I think Deshane likes keeping Sully around. I feel like Deshane and Sully are going to end up having beef in the next season, right? Because this is going to be the final season that's coming up, right? And they're trying to set up a rivalry or some kind of big beef because it's very obvious that Deshane wants out. Deshane wants to go legit. He wants to retire. That's why he was setting up Jamie to be his retirement plan, right? So for me, I look at it like this. Why did Sully kill Jamie? He killed Jamie because he knew that at some point Deshane would not need Sully no more. He knew that Jamie would become the new Sully, and they're very similar, Sully and Jamie. They both care about their family members, and they justify their evil actions based on their family. See, Sully didn't have to get back in the game to help Pebbles. No, he got back in the game because he likes that stuff, man. Jamie is not trying to protect and provide for his brothers. He doesn't have to sell drugs to protect and provide for his brothers. No, it's because he likes doing that stuff, right? Same arguments could be said for Deshane and a lot of these characters who are roadmans, right? But that's what it is when you're in the ghetto, when you're poor, when you're in the streets. You have to find ways to survive, creative ways to survive. When they're not going to give you an opportunity, you have to almost create an opportunity. You have to break in through the door and say, hey, I'm finna do this because I have to. And a lot of it also is because I want to, right? Let's go on some other characters, man. Somebody who really impressed me this season was Jackie, man. Really impressed me this season was Jackie, especially how she handled Lauren, her sister Lauren, dealing with some insane guy called Curtis, right? Some gun smuggler called Curtis from Liverpool. She went out of her way, and deep down she didn't want to get rid of her sister, but Jackie did her best. She broke the rules of the streets, right, in order to save her sister from Deshane and Sully. So she went out of her way to risk her life to get Lauren back. Now, let me say something about Lauren. Stupid bitch. Very dumb lady. Very dumb girl, right? But when she killed Curtis at the end, I really respected that because she finally atoned for her mistakes, right? She was always crying in every scene, being lame, being annoying. So I was really happy for that around the end, right? But Jackie was, Jackie was cool. She actually kept it real, and she was literally second in command, because most of the season Sully was not an active drug dealer. He was not actively part of the empire, right? And she held her own, right? Especially that one scene where she shot and killed somebody who was disrespecting the crew or had robbed the crew or something like that, right? Another storyline that I kind of liked was how Shelly, right, had been confronted with her past. And this is a theme that happens a lot in the show. A lot of people are confronted with their past, and they have to deal with it, usually with violence, let's be real. But it was good. It was good because it showed us that, hey, not everybody is innocent, especially when you live in a place like Summer House. Summer House is the hood. Let's be real, it's the hood. Okay, it's the hood. And if anybody has been black or poor, has lived in the hood, you know that everyone has to find ways to survive and has been involved or does something illegal. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you have been born in the hood, most people are associated with or are actively doing criminality. That's just what it is. And for her to use that power move, right, to take out the body from the ground and dispose of it, I like that. Because she was getting manipulated by this old white lady who's lame, right? So it's really, really good. I also like the way they portrayed black women in this season. You saw all kinds of black women, right? You saw black women who are biracial and maybe trying to get in the streets, like Pebbles. You saw black women who are actively in the streets, who are lesbian, like Jackie. You had black women who are pregnant and dealing with abusive domestic partners, like Lauren. You had black women like Deshane's mother, who was old and dying and literally died. You had black women who were entrepreneurial and still struggling, like Shelly. You had black women who are getting deported, literally. You know what I'm saying? At's mother, Amma, right? So I like the portrayal of black women in this show. It was very respectful and showed that black women are not unilateral, right? They're different and unique, right? Also, the way roadmans are. The roadmans were different in this show. There were some roadmans who were in it just for the money, right? Guy like Deshane. There's some who were in it for their family, guys like Jamie. And there's guys who are in it because they want just to be violent and take some anger out, guys like Sully, right? So you see the multi-layers of this. Now, what I didn't like about this season is the Spain and Morocco component. It got convoluted, it got weird, it didn't make sense at times. Like, why is a police officer all of a sudden getting involved in the drug game, and nothing happens to him after they get shot? No follow-up. Bodies are dropping left and right and nobody follows it up. I don't even like Emilio's storyline. I didn't like him. He was kind of lame and corny. Same thing with even Lizzie. Lizzie was like a bystander and just a lame. Wasn't she supposed to get divorced? They don't even follow up on that, right? So overall, this is my character breakdown, of the show, of the season. Now, what would I rate it out of 10? I would probably give it a 8.9, man. 8.9 out of 10. I might give it a 9.1. I'm giving it 4.1 out of 5 stars. You know what I mean? Or 9.1 out of 10. It is a fantastic show. This is what Power should have been after the 3rd season, after they killed Kane off another time. It's like crazy. That's how Power should have went. But it went left and became whack. You know what I mean? But Top Boy this season was absolutely fantastic. The cinematography, the acting, especially. I would give it up for Jack. Jack killed it. She killed it in the show. I don't remember the actress's name. Jasmine Jobson. Yeah, that's what it says here. She killed it. She did a fantastic job. Sully, Kane Robinson, that's the name of the actor. He killed it as well. Those two stood out to me throughout this whole show. But let me know what y'all think, man, in the comments below, man. 15-minute video, road to 1K. We gonna get there by summer, and I'm out, bro.